everyone, welcome to the 6th lesson of ZEPETOR class. I'm Mentor Val, and this lesson we're going to be looking at image searching, references, collaging, and Ibispaint materials. We'll specifically explore image searching, such as Google versus Pinterest images, and then we'll look into references, how to use them, how I use them, and collaging, so what parts of an image can you take out and paste on your own, and lastly, what do I mean by Ibispaint Materials? Let's find out. Right now I'm on Google and I typed in fantasy background to look at what kind of backgrounds I could use. Let's say I want to do a fantasy edit. I'm looking for a quite high definition zoomed in picture of a dream fantasy-esque room, but then Google doesn't really account for these pictures from an initial scrolling. It's likely because Google caters towards wallpapers. I did find this one with a dove. I think that could be usable if you blurred it, but what if you really wanted a high definition background? The answer would be to go on Pinterest. Here I am searching the exact same thing on Pinterest, and you can see exactly what I mean. You can find high definition dream-esque pictures that are definitely less wallpapery. Instead of wallpapers for your desktop or laptop, these look like lock screens for your phone, and so they double nicely as a high-definition picture of any ZEPETO edit you want to make. This is because ZEPETO edits are usually in a 9:16 size. These pictures are fitted to this size. These pictures are also quite uncommon. You wouldn't be able to find these on Google. If you did, you wouldn't be on Pinterest. You can see that they look quite high definition even when zoomed in and cropped. These definitely look good for fantasy edits, so I'll think of using them perhaps. Now let's move on to references. First of all, what are they? Well, references can be used as inspiration pieces, be it for your posing or for your clothes, or anything in between, such as lighting as well. You can see here that my edit is inspired by the lighting. So I made my avatar blue and I used some red lighting to draw reference from this picture that I found on Pinterest, of course. And there are also instances where I have used an image from Pinterest to inspire my edit entirely, such as this fairy queen one. And also there were other times where I just straight up collaged some parts of the reference. So you can also see this in an edit I made of my friend. There were also times where I did a straight up recreation of the artist's drawing. There you definitely need to credit. I took some elements of the original image onto mine, but I just made it a ZEPETO equivalent of that image, if that makes sense. As for the materials, you can find them on Ibispaint on the top right hand corner. Simply click into it and I'm going to show you the materials that I find very useful. So I'm going to show you underwater and the lighting effect. So underwater is quite straightforward. You can use it as a background and turn on screen, and that allows the character to look as if they are underwater, simply enough. Then for lighting, it doesn't really work unless you have a light background, so I layered it above the underwater and I used that as my light background, and there we go. We can see how it looks like together, light underwater. Ibispaint gives you a myriad of materials to choose from. They have 7,517 materials that I just don't have enough time to go through, but as you can see, you can just use this as another layer. It works much like an image, so you can manipulate it at your will. If you would rather paste an image from Google, you have to find one with a transparent background. Go to Tools, and then after that, click on Colors, and then underneath that will be Transparent. So here I am just scrolling through all the possible transparent laces that I might use on my drawing. That brings us to the end of our short video. I hope this was helpful in at least introducing the ways that you can search for images, look at references, and also Ibispaint materials.